going on, folks? Stobe the Hobo here in Denver. About to commence another episode. Been here at my Denver Rocky Mountain West crash pad for a while, and it's starting to get cold, getting into October. It means it's time to head south. So the plan is as follows. Depart Denver on the next BNSF General Manifest Freight going south. Take that train as far as Amarillo. Probably get off, check out the town, get another train to Fort Worth, hang out there for some amount of time, and then continue on to Houston. So unfortunately, this is a line that's definitely got some BS on it. I've gone as far as Amarillo before in the past, and it can be dreadfully slow getting down there from Denver. Additionally, Amarillo, last time I was there, I couldn't find beer. I couldn't find it. I walked everywhere in the town. Obviously it's somewhere, but just to be safe, I'm bringing enough beer to get to Fort Worth, so I'm packing a 30-pack. It's just been a common theme in a lot of my recent trips that I've run out of beer and alcohol way too soon on the trip. So just in case that 30-pack isn't enough, I've got this fifth of cheap Grand Marnier knockoff orange liqueur. That is harsh, but it's good. It's starting to get chilly out here. It's gonna hang out, hunker down until the train comes across that bridge over there, if you can see it. Hopefully not significant delay of the trip, I think, is about to happen. All indications are the train's only going to Pueblo. That's 120 miles south of Denver. Looking at the train, it's pretty clear. It's got just a bunch of hoppers with, it's got scrap metal gondolas. I think it's got some coke cars. And they're all just going to the big steel plant down here. About marooned here, there's a spot where the ones that keep going south go slow. The main problem is that we're off the track where those are going to be coming through. The main logistical problem is how to get the 30 pack. Yep, here we are. Coming to a stop in Pueblo. Ridiculous. Silly train. Not what I wanted to happen. So as you can see, this train, it doesn't really have the look of the Texas train that I've seen. It doesn't got any lumber. So I gotta walk 3 miles to Pueblo Junction where the trains from the north go slow enough to get back on. Could be a long wait. So this is Pueblo here.
Pueblo is the most dangerous city in Colorado.
Not a whole lot to see. Just walking over to the junction. I gotta say, this idea with the 30 pack, it seemed real brilliant at the time, but carrying this thing around is starting to really get me fatigued. So far the train gods are not delivering on this trip. The idea was to get one train to Amarillo, and now I don't even know if I can get on a moving train with the 30 pack. So if you're ever stuck in Pueblo, you just get down to Pueblo Junction. I mean, there's I-25. These tracks here, that direction, that's south, that's north to Denver. A little further down there, you got a split where southbounds are gonna go to La Junta and then northbounds come in from Trinidad. NSF uses directional running through here, and that means that there's 2 main lines totally separated. Southbounds to Amarillo take La Junta and then Boise City, and then from Amarillo, northbounds go Dalhart and then follow Highway 287 up to Trinidad, and then they converge here. I don't know who left this couch here, but I really appreciate it. That's made this day bearable. I gotta say, a 30 pack, that's now the minimum amount of beer I'm gonna be bringing on any trips. It seems like a lot when you're carrying it, but then when you're here, hanging out on this couch all day waiting for a train, it really ends up not being that much beer. Anybody who thinks this hobo lifestyle is somehow glorious has no idea what they're talking about. I've been waiting here for 10 hours, just here. Does this look like a fun spot to just hang out for 10 hours? And if you leave, you know the train's gonna show up. So I've been here and the train hasn't showed up. And now this guy, we'll see what this is. It's probably just another coal. Well, I'm about to just declare this line out of service. I mean, it seems like you got less than 1 train a day that's rideable going south here. That's just not worth it to me. I don't have the energy. I don't have the drive to just sit around this amount of time. Well, it's freaking almost the middle of the night, and finally here comes a darn train. Got finally out of Pueblo, heading east to La Junta. A couple hours later, pulling into La Junta for the crew change. A very important issue I was going to mention is 1 train a day on this line does go KC. Up ahead, we've got this fork. It's called Las Animas Junction, and some of the trains go to KC. The majority go right and down to Texas. However, it's not impossible that this could go to KC, and I'm prepared for that. The train appeared to be leaving, and then here we are backing up into this yard, deep into these yard tracks, and that means 1 of 2 things. We're picking up another car on the back of the train, or the train is dead ended here in La Junta. And the way things have been going, I'm gonna guess it's the second option. Quick update. This is La Junta. There's just impossible to get any kind of luck or momentum going on this trip. Here's the train. It's broken in half in the yard here. Eventually they'll put it back together. But it's clear that this is like the lowest priority you can get. And that these days it just seems BNSF, it's like annoyed. They're annoyed when a train needs to be sent, because they sent it 50 miles from Pueblo, and now it's broken up here. Got coming in is coal. Well, I don't want to ride in the coal, although I may have to. I'm starting to reconsider riding in the coal, because I haven't even gone 170 miles, and we're coming on 2 days since I left. That's nuts. And what does that mean? Maybe I'm nuts. Well, this is La Junta, and I might have made a mistake in thinking that anything other than coal comes through here. There's no reason to ever come to this town, honestly. I can't wait to get out of here, and there's no way to get out of here other than on a train. So I'll be here for the foreseeable future. Alright, it's like 7:30 p.m. in La Junta. I'm still here. And we've got this train that just came in, and looks like the positive luck continues. Not a single rideable car on it. The train gods are not performing so far. 48 hours since I got to the tracks in Denver, and I'm still well inside Colorado. I'm about ready to wimp out, and we may see a new side of Stobe the Hobo, where Stobe the Hobo gives up. I don't need to do the train. If the train is not here, and I mean a train that's gonna get me a long distance into Texas, by tomorrow at 7 something, when the Amtrak comes, I'm out of here on there, and I'm just gonna wimp out and not ride trains on this trip. Darkest hours of the night. Finally, freaking finally, we got a train that I think is going the way I'm hoping. I gotta be honest, this trip is just not going off to the best start. We got empty hot asphalt car here. It looks like the only ride that I really can choose from is this Grainer with the filthy freaking porch. Let's see in here. It looks like it's bentonite, which is used in cat litter. It's covered with it, but it's either this or nothing. Or basically become a home guard in La Junta. Positively too much time here in La Junta. Adios! Never coming back to this town, ever on the train. Alright, we're coming up to the fork, where the train is either going to go to Amarillo or it's going to go to KC. This prison. Maximum looking security prison here. It's so nice to be looking outside in at that place. Alright, we're in the fork, and I'm seeing that we're turning right, so finally some good luck. Definitely one of the nicer sunrises I've seen out here in the plains. I'm not sure if we're into Oklahoma yet at this point. As you can see, this is a good spot to not get marooned. Fortunately, you have this road, but large stretches of this route are totally out here in the prairie. Nothing but rattlesnakes, antelope, and it is dry. This is about the driest prairie you'll find. Probably a couple inches of rain a year, just barely not a desert. Well, this is looking like FNBS again. Train number 3 not going the entire distance. We got this siding here. This is a one-way only track right here, going through down into the panhandle. And there's no reason we're taking this siding other than to just sit here for a really long amount of time, and other trains are going to pass from the north. At least there's a road and I can hitchhike. This is absurd. Well, I just gotta say, I recommend to anybody to take your kids' college fund, your entire life savings, and put them into put options on BNSF Railroad. This is not a serious railroad anymore. So let me explain how this works. This is a south-only line through here. It's called directional running. We're stopped on the siding tying the train down. What does that mean? We're not waiting for another train to go past, because no trains go north of here. The train is stopping here because there's no hurry at all to get it to the next crew change. In a normal, rational world, the way this has gone is the trains go with one crew straight to Amarillo, put on another crew, keep going. That's not what's happening anymore. I would like to point out, this is October 25th right now, and I think 5 days ago, Union Pacific had its quarterly earnings, and they were 5th consecutive quarter of declines in just about everything. The stock took a pretty big drop after that earnings report. And there's something going on today in the economy. I came through here in 2007 and it seemed busier than this. There's the crew van right there. There he is. He's taking the conductor who is putting the train onto the siding up here, and they're gonna pick up the engineer, and they're gonna leave this train and me for, it could be an entire day.
Now what the fuck are we supposed to do? We're some real pretty shit now, man!
I'm gonna hitchhike, obviously, and I gotta say, I don't know if I'm gonna do any more trains to Fort Worth, and I may just get the Greyhound from Amarillo to Fort Worth. I can't do it anymore. You gotta be way more hardcore than I am to keep doing trains in this instance. This is stranded out here. There's nothing here. There's no stores, nothing at all. So if I don't get picked up hitchhiking, that's gonna be a problem. And 10 minutes later, getting passed from the back by a stack train. I don't know what this new train is. It's got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 16 cars. I don't know how long I'm gonna be here, man. I'm really not happy about this. I'm out here hitchhiking. I've had no luck. I've been alternating between just taking naps in the bushes. I mean, the sun is intense out here. You got bugs, dust storms from whatever this operation is here behind the train. It's pretty clear. I mean, this has the same look as the other 2 trains I've been dead-ended on. We got a couple coal cars, we got a ton of tankers, very little wood. Quick update, things are moving fast here. I'm now in Stratford. I just hitchhiked down here. And what we've got is a UP main line crossing this useless BNSF. So here, this is BNSF. Oh yeah, here's Stratford. If you can't make it to Stratford, England, here's Stratford, Texas. We got a UP train stop down here. I get on this and problem solved. I've got to get on this train. I have to get on it. I've got to walk about a half a mile out. This is all happening at a real fast pace. If I get this train, I'm gonna just take a completely different route, and it's gonna take more miles. But unless it's the same BS as on this other track, it's gonna be faster. Oh, it feels so nice to be moving again. Heading now northeast on Union Pacific out of Stratford. Just when things couldn't get worse, they improved. This is the same line I rode the other direction from Harrington and Denver, Salina, El Paso. Couple of days, I'm super dirty. I'm so tired of those BNSF or FNBS trains, as they're going to be called from now on. This is going to take things quite a distance out of the way, but I think it's going to be on trains that move, and so it's going to be totally worth it. Back in Oklahoma Panhandle here, surprisingly warm for October. It's got to be like 75 right now. This crazy storm out here in the Kansas plains. It's drizzling and I've never seen anything like this level of frickin' lightning per second. There's thousands of strikes a minute going off here. And it's gotta all be heat lightning because it sure isn't making any sound. Wow, look at that. Out here, the Kansas plains. These trains really move pretty fast through here, I'm impressed. It's not like that other crappy line I was on. This is a line where the trains actually have a destination. Very interesting weather here. We actually had a rainstorm last night. You can see it's still wet. I'm wearing a freaking t-shirt and then you got morning fog. It's like middle of the summer style weather. Stobe the Hobo, still going through Kansas. This is day 4 of the trip. It's pretty ridiculous. So I'm about to get into Harrington, and at that point there's a fork in Harrington, and I can get a train south straight down into Fort Worth from there. So I'll update again when I get into Harrington, which was on the Denver, Salina, El Paso episode. I went the opposite direction on that episode, straight that way, all the way to El Paso. Here we are back in Harrington, 22 months after the last time I was here. Basically the plan is to just go get some more supplies and some beer, and then switch to a train going this way. You can see I got a track going straight south. I just came in from there. The days of me having the kind of time that I've needed on this trip so far are numbered. I left Saturday night. It's now Wednesday. And I'm still a long way from Fort Worth. That's ridiculous. It's a one-day drive. So hopefully the pace is going to pick up and I can be down there tomorrow. I am considering getting off in Wichita and checking that out. I've never been there before. Other than that, it should be about 450 miles south to Fort Worth from here. Should be about a day's ride. Definitely not a lot going on in this town right now. It's probably just barely big enough to where I don't stand out as being a stranger in this. What's going on? Stobe the Hobo. Actually right in front of the yard office. You got this train. I don't think this is the right train, but I think there's another one about to show up. Get out of here. I think that's the train I'm talking about. Or is it that train? And I'm actually just SOL. This guy here, he's making the right back where I came from. And then the guy behind him, he's going too fast and he's blocked by this guy. So I'm gonna have to go hang out way further back up in the yard. Oh, it just can't get worse, but it keeps getting worse. 4 days out here, I barely even budged from where I started. We're still here in Harrington, and the absence of decent luck continues. I don't know if you guys saw the other episode, Denver, Salina, El Paso, but in that episode, I waited an entire freaking day for one of these trains, and now I'm here and they're coming through all the time, these stacks. Now what does that mean? What does that mean, Jim? What that means is those are not going the right direction. The last time I was here, I was trying to get to El Paso. Now that I'm not trying to get to El Paso, all these El Paso double stacks are here. And now that I'm trying to go south, nothing. So that's the reality of this. This is not some glorious thing. If it was so glorious, these filthy bushes over here, they would be full of hobos reveling in glory. They're devoid of anybody except me, because I'm the one guy who somehow is nutty enough to be hanging out here. Right now we just got non-stop trains going the wrong way at that fork. All of these stacks out of Harrington. These are making the right turn up there. So for all the people who think their life sucks watching this right now, I'm just saying, I've been traveling from Denver for like 4.5 days. I haven't taken a shower. I haven't talked or had like a conversation with anybody, nothing. I'm going bananas out here. And what do you got? Another train going the different direction at the fork. This is the 4th intermodal train in 2 hours. But nobody made me do this. I'm here on my own volition. I've still got enough beer. I would just have to say, the average person I think would have wimped out on this trip quite a while ago. So I left from Denver. I mean, what is this, a 4-hour drive from Denver? This is really the kind of boredom that I think only maybe military personnel could understand. Anybody who's ever stood on watch over something for hours and hours and hours and not seen anything at all interesting during the whole time. Up here at this graveyard, definitely more souls in the ground up here than in the town down there. These souls, day after day, watch placidly over the train tracks, and I can relate. You can see this is a pretty mega size graveyard. It's got to be several thousand graves in here. Surprisingly green out here. It's almost November, and I mean the general vibe is not that grim. It almost feels like spring. Still got a lot of leaves on a lot of trees. Not surprised what happened to them. It's definitely one of the more convenient spots if you're gonna get run over by the train. It could just unstick you from the tracks and put you right into the grave here. Graveyard offers a way to get clean. Here, this nice spigot. It's really milky looking water, but I gotta do something. It's been 5 days. I am so disgusting. Basically, I smell like an open grave. What we've got going on here, this train has been getting put together in the yard, and as you can see, we got engines on it. They just put them on. That can sit here a long time still. And I saw one here yesterday, parked for a very long time. And I'd really like to go get some beer. Pretty sure this is my train. It's got loaded wood. Most wood comes from the Pacific Northwest. It just wouldn't make sense if this was going southwest from here. So that means it's going south to Wichita at least. You could just sit around here until it leaves. It's definitely gonna leave. It's got engines. Or I could go get beer. And I don't think I got any option. I think I'm gonna go get beer, and I'm hoping it'll be here. It's about an hour trip total to go get beer and come back. Let's try it. There he is. Still parked up there. No time to waste here. Taking a look at the real estate listings here. Look at this. You got all kinds of homes for super cheap. 15,000. Look at this big one here. 60,000. I may not dig this place that much, but I mean 15 G's and you own your own house? Something to consider. It's really not that bad a place. Biggest problem is just that everything's boarded up, and obviously no young people here anymore. The train is still here. I've got a 12-pack of ice cold beer and some fried chicken. I really can't afford this stuff every day, but I just, for morale. Finally in the yard. I just gotta cut over to that track that train's on and hope that nobody drives up here in some big rush. We are out of here, I hope. Heading south to Wichita. On the cargo train, you got rivers. See that? I think we're pulling into Wichita. I'm drinking this New Belgium IPA, and it's like it's making this trip just a solid trip. This has got to be Wichita. There's all kinds of like industrial centers and factories and stuff going on here. When you've been drinking a lot of beer, it's hard to tell. Well, I shouldn't just say when you've been drinking a lot of beer, but at any point when you've never been to a place before, it's hard to tell if you should get off the train or not. I mean, we're obviously close to Wichita. I'd like to just get an idea of what the city's about. Is this the place to get off? I don't know. I don't know where this is. I mean, this is Wichita, and I can't tell if there's any other parts of the town besides these monster, you know, agricultural plants. I don't know exactly which one this is. We got this nice park here, the Arkansas. This is the same river that was going through La Junta. Overall, I'm exasperated, I'm fried, I'm ready to just get somewhere where I can get into bed and not be on a train or sleeping in my sleeping bag anymore. And that's not gonna happen tonight or tomorrow night. So this is Wichita, Kansas. It's kind of an odd place. It's a decent sized city, and it's just really in a random place in South Kansas. I've actually got enough beer. So the update now is I'm trying to find a place to get some pizza. And I'm not finding it yet, but I'll figure it out. I don't think I'm gonna be here that long. I think the basic goal, I'm gonna just go back to my pack and try to get the next train, but this is Wichita. If you've ever wanted to come here, see what it looks like. I gotta be just straightforward. I just don't got it. I don't got the energy anymore for this. This is too much time. Sleeping rough. I gotta get a motel or something, and I can't get one here. This building's kind of cool here. You know, I've got enough money, but nothing's open. So I got this dumpster, and it's looking grim. I'm so freaking hungry, and it's nothing doing. This is the pizza place. You got this millennial scene here in the old town, and then over here you got this elevated train bridge, which I'm sure I'm going to be leaving on. Positive note for whatever band this is, they're pulling off this song way better than the original. Definitely not the worst place ever to get off the train. I mean, you got this guy playing accordion. That's kind of quaint. You got this place here. That looks like it would be interesting, maybe. Stobe the Hobo out of Wichita. Not a bad stop. Better too short than too long. Still got cold beer from that 12-pack. There's a ton of these old silos here in this town. I jumped on this car moving last night in the dark, and it's the only ride anyway, but I mean, look at this. This is the most gross car I've been on. It's totally covered with this salt. It's not salt, but I don't know what it is. Got it out of here at least. As you can see here, Chickasha, there's Oklahoma City. Very good chance of making it to Fort Worth before dark, I'm hoping. Starting to just kind of reach the point of exhaustion. That said, I'm kind of so getting used to this now, I just don't even really care. Look at this. This is awful to be riding in. It's completely cut. Look how filthy my hand is, my face, everything. I don't know what it is. out right. Downtown. Assuming we're gonna stop at some point. I've never been here before. There's definitely a lot of different tracks coming in and out. I think that's BNSF there. Further up there's tons of junctions. Here, I don't know if this one is important or just a tertiary yard. Sure looks like we're here. Not bad so far. Got a nice river going on. You got plenty of leafy nature, which I like. You got decent buildings. I'm getting a cheap Motel 6 a little bit ways from town here, but it's next to the tracks. And as far as the rest goes, I'm gonna go get cleaned up and do some more exploring. This is so overdue. I've never felt filthier in my life. Junction going on. We got trains coming in from different angles and going in I think 4 different directions. We got North, BNSF, and UP, and now he's cutting off to the west. I'm not totally sure all the directions. And it'd be a really cool place to watch trains, and you can do it from the comfort of your car in this awful freaking traffic here. Look at all those different directions with those signal masts down there. You got at least 4 directions out of here. And I don't know how many of the trains go fast or slow. That one's obviously going slow. I don't know if I'm gonna leave out of here or not yet. There's a lot of trains and a lot of tracks here. And I've only started to figure it out. Not getting on this thing. BNSF coal empty. Booking it through here. Got this old castle. That's kind of cool. If you got dirty feet, you got this nice foot bath here. I already cleaned up at the motel, or I would definitely take advantage. And then you got this, looks like some kind of jacuzzi pool or kiddie pool. So this is Fort Worth. And you know, I'm usually, a lot of times I complain about the places I come through, but I gotta say this zone here is very pleasant. Huge green area. It's got bike paths and the Trinity River. And you can just come and drink beer and hang out here. It's awesome. I didn't realize that in Texas they value nature as much as this. But you, come on. Beautiful. I don't know. Just shows you, don't throw pearls before swine, and don't throw cold beer before jackasses. So that was Fort Worth. Now taking the quick commuter train over to Dallas to see what's going on over there. I've actually got a fan of the show who contacted me, and we're going to go hang with him. Kind of excited about that. And I'm here with Mark. How's it going? That's Mark. Just a fan of Stobe the Hobo contacted through YouTube, so we're gonna go check out the town. This is the spot right here, that X.
Yeah.
We're talking about JFK.
That's where he got shot.
Yeah, this is the grassy knoll. We got a hemp fest going on here right now. Is Texas legalizing this year? I'm from out of state.
I am too. It's not on the ballot.
Nothing going on here yet?
The petition needs to be in January.
From head shots to head shops. They're at the grassy knoll in Dallas. All right, so this garage is where that sniper guy, Micah Johnson, was shooting from. And I'm not sure where the targets were. It's not that important, but this is where that shooting happens. And you got this fountain, you got this. Just to clarify, Stobe the Hobo only supports civil disobedience level infractions of the law. Basically, Stobe the Hobo is 100% pro law enforcement. Don't have to worry about that. That is the garage though. Gunshots were coming out of that thing back in July. Got this parking garage where the guy was, the assailant, and I guess he went in here and this is where the robot blew him up. That's your understanding, Mark?
Yeah. He just ran in there and he was like trying to hold out in there.
And they got him. He wasn't gonna make it in here. This is the best burger you've had.
Oh yeah, ever. Anywhere.
The Stackhouse. All right. Sounds good to me. So we come to the best burger place ever and you are vegan.
Yeah.
That's the black bean curd burger there.
I used to eat meat.
Gouda something burger. Looks pretty decent. Let's see. That is good. That's really flavorful. Mark is from Texas and
Howdy.
Are you part of the Texas Pride crowd?
Everyone is.
I just put down Texas. Am I risking my life around this place?
I mean, I don't have my gun on me now, but
that sounds like a yes.
We could probably find somebody if that's what you're asking.
I had a feeling about that being the situation down here. What is it like being a Texan? What's that all about?
It feels pretty awesome knowing that you're superior. We have Whataburger. Oh, we have Dallas. That's our TV show. We all ride our horses to school, all that.
Are you in the Walker Texas Ranger? That's kind of the guy who defined my impression of Texas.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite shows.
Alright, well, I'm concluding my visit with Mark. Thank you very much for everything, showing me around.
Hope you enjoyed Dallas.
Good example of Texas pride. Even in the final week of October, we still got pretty high temperatures, about 85. And a really decent quantity of freaking bugs and creepy qualities, which I don't like. Fire ants, different places. Mosquitoes are still out and about. So I was kind of hoping things would have cooled off, but regardless. There's scenery. I honestly can't say there's anything you haven't seen before somewhere else. It's just Midwest looking scenery. It doesn't really look any different than Kansas, which I kind of surprised by. I thought this would have a little more of a out west vibe, but You have to go further west for that. What's going on? Stobe the Hobo here in Dallas. Kind of finishing things up here in Dallas. Checking out all the sites. And initially what my plan to do was to return to Fort Worth, where you've got a lot of trains going south out of there. Trying to get to Houston. But what we have going on here is we got this main line here, and I'm pretty sure this is the Shreveport line. Looking at a couple of maps and stuff. I could save the time and energy going to Fort Worth, and I could just go to Shreveport here and then catch another southbound from Shreveport. It's just because I saw this guy. I don't know when he's gonna leave. I'm gonna just go get some more beer, and if the train is still here, I'm gonna get on this train and go to Shreveport, and then I can get another Houston train from there. This is amazing timing. He's clearly waiting for the Amtrak to pass, and that gives me enough time to get to the beer store and get more beer, which is right down here. Let's do it. Seems like a fortunate day. Let's get something a little higher quality. This beer store. Here's town. And then here's the train parked over here. I gotta run. As soon as that Amtrak clears the block in front of this train, this train's gonna book it out of here. That's Dallas. It's not a bad place. It's not super exciting either, I'd say. I was here, Fort Worth, one night, and then I did 2 nights here, and it seemed sufficient. Honestly, I kind of don't really understand where all like the cowboy stuff is. I know there's some in Fort Worth, but it's not as much as I thought I'd see. I haven't seen guys with cowboy hats. I really haven't seen a whole lot of that anywhere in either of the cities, but maybe we'll see some down in Houston, I don't know. Forgot to mention, today is Halloween, October 31st. And no, I don't have any invites to the party with the hottie in the cop uniform or the sexy nun costume, but I am going to be a hobo today. And I think having some beer and being on this train is definitely going to be decent. If I'm successful and lucky, the train may make it to Shreveport in time for the casinos there. The tag, you don't see that often, but I think it was one of the older guys riding around in the past. I don't know if he's still out and about. I never met him. The presence of this CSX car, I'd say, is pretty much a sure bet that it's going to New Orleans, which would mean it would go via Shreveport. All right, let's do it. Let's check out Shreveport. And here's me getting on the train. Of the Hobo, piecing out of Dallas, heading southeast on this nice, really warm Halloween afternoon. We're out of here. Yeah, we're going through some kind of split. That looks like a pretty busy southbound main line. That's probably the Houston one. And we're curving off to the left. It's a pretty decent left turn. There's another fork. I think that's a KCS fork going off that direction. It's freaking hot. It's like summer mother effing weather out here, and it's October 31st. It's like 85 degrees. It's ridiculous. It's starting to get really swampy, and we're still in Texas. It's starting to look, honestly, just like the Houston to New Orleans line. The train bypasses Shreveport going this direction by about 15 miles. So I'm keeping going. I'm not sure where this is going to end up, but I gotta get to Houston, and I'll have to figure that out at some point. But out here in Louisiana, total fog. I just jumped off the train. I'm gonna just have to hitchhike into. I just jumped off the train out here. I'm gonna have to just hitchhike back to Shreveport. I know the southbound stopping there. This would have been a real disaster if I had stayed on this train. This is, first of all, I'm out of water. I just ran out. This train's going to New Orleans. This could set the trip back. If you saw the other episode, that line from New Orleans to Houston is absolutely dreadful. So all I gotta do is probably get 1 or 2 rides on this nice country road in the fog and hopefully be in Shreveport. I don't know if you, yeah, you can totally see this messed up eye I have. This is part of the reason things got a little bit crazy. I poked my head out of the, just a tiny bit out to look up ahead on the train. And what happened? There's a branch right there. A tree branch nailed me in the face. And I wish I could have got it on tape because it would have been really reality TV. But I guess, is that a black eye? It's not really a black eye. It's like puffed up though. And that's dangerous. I can't believe that. They really need to maintain the right-of-way better. That's the scariest thing that's ever happened. I thought I was going to lose an eye for a minute. I'm going to start hitchhiking on this road and try to get back to Shreveport. As long as I get there, it shouldn't be too tough to continue. I've never seen this guy's house. Are you a guard pig? What's your deal? Yeah, the thing was just charging up. All right. Stay put. Don't follow me. Damn it. What the F, man? Ridiculous. Go home. I don't want to deal with you right now. Silly animal. Ridiculous. Guaranteed full of swamp crocodiles here. Even in far north Louisiana, we got major swamps. I may be walking the entire 30 miles into town. Along this, there is absolutely no one stopping at all. You got these swamps here. Honestly, I don't really, I mean, who's to say a croc couldn't just snatch you out of this thing right now, or snatch you into it. Just got to ride pretty close into town, I'm hoping, from way the hell out there. I've been walking a long time. And again, what happened is, last night, the train bypassed the city entirely. And I wasn't sure where I was, but it was clear it didn't stop in town. And now, instead of staying on the train, it makes a lot more sense to just get, suffer this way and get into Shreveport and then get another train to Houston, which I think I can do. Again, this is major hard work. I think a lot of people look and they think, oh, you're traveling for free or whatever. This is major work. Honestly, I would buy a ticket at this point. I'm freaking exhausted, and hopefully I can just be in Houston soon and done with this part of the trip. Out. Just finally got into Shreveport on the slowest bus ever. This is definitely the worst day of this trip so far. I freaking nailed my eye, as you can see, from a tree branch that I have no idea how there's tree branches that are, you hit your head with a rail car, but it happens. It's so hot. It's November, and it's like 92 degrees here. got this nasty dog drool-esque red river coming through town. And I think these are just for show, these boat casinos. Obviously, I mean, this river doesn't look like you could go up and down it. And that thing's obviously taller than the bridge. Anyway, just doing a morale and absolute complete fatigue. I'm looking at getting one of these casino motels. This one's got a direct view of the UP yard. It's a commanding view of the entire city from this room. And you got the UP yard down there. Should be interesting tonight. Just getting ready to check out here. Definitely nice to have enough dough for a motel, and I'd like to thank all my sponsors for pitching in with this. This is fan funded, and it's not terribly expensive. The price of this room before all the BS is $55, and then when you add the tax and the gimmicks, it ends up being quite a bit more. But this is a good spot for rail fans. You got KCS coming through here. There's a lot of trains going through there. And then down here, you got Union Pacific. I think that's a southbound, but it's only got one engine. This is a decent spot. I'd give it a free plug. This is the Horseshoe in Shreveport. The rest of the city isn't terribly interesting. These riverboat casinos, but I don't think they actually leave the dock ever. I mean, obviously that couldn't fit under this bridge. Everything seems pretty dead around here, which means it might be a good time to come down and get a cheap room at one of these casino places. I don't know if it's just the off season or what, but this boardwalk is pretty much activity-less. I don't know if it's just the off season or what, but it's definitely worth one night at one of these casino hotels. The only way you ever get a nice hotel like that is at the casino places. And then here you got Kansas City Southern, which crosses the bridge right here in town. It's a great place to see trains because the UP and the KCS both meet right here by the Holiday Inn. Also got this KCS track here. I'm not sure this is mainline or what, but this is different than these tracks which are crossing the river. Things are definitely more laid back than with the Class 1 railroads. I can't imagine you'd see BN or UP just parked in front of this apartment house. I don't know how much these people like it here. There's definitely a rundown, grim vibe to this place. A lot of boarded up old buildings. This is a big difference from Dallas-Fort Worth, and that's kind of got that cowboy, maybe western vibe, and this is total south. You got soul food going on, and there's not a cowboy hat in the entire town. I can't really figure out why all this cool stuff is all boarded up now. Totally out of business, all this old tourist area. It just offers some commentary. You got pretty much non-stop traffic going there. That's Interstate 20. That's a lot of cars. It's been like that all the time I've been watching. But it's deserted here. Look at this. This is this boardwalk. There's no one in there. Can you even find a person? I can't. This hotel was deserted enough to where I could get a pimp room for that price. Everybody just buying everything on Amazon.com and just staying glued to their computers. I mean, I guess the fact that you're watching this kind of proves that point a little bit. All right, so you got this KCS westbound coming through. That's not the train I want, but if you look through here, yeah, if you see that headlight down there, I think that's my train, so I just gotta stay put till this guy clears. I think that's Dallas this direction, I'm not positive. This is one of the top spots I've ever seen to get on a train. I stare longingly at my room that I stayed in last night. Again, I'm just gonna get on. I'm pretty sure they all go to Houston from here. I feel a real pull towards my room last night up there. The comfort of the bed and the view, but not enough to spend another night. Fortunately, I've got a place to stay in Houston. Somebody contacted me through YouTube And it looks like I don't have to sleep outside when I get down there. Alright, peacing out of Shreveport. I'm gonna miss that hotel. That was the nicest room I've ever stayed in. You cannot imagine how freaking fried I am of this trip so far. Because I've been trying to, I should have been in Houston a week ago. That's how it goes when you travel on trains. The good news is, I got a lot of beer. I got half a 12-pack left still. I don't know if I'll kill the whole thing on the way down there, but with pain and suffering comes a reward eventually. That said, this train made dead end before Houston. Out. Just crawling out of town here. Looking at this mural, I feel like that kid right now. I don't know how long I'm gonna feel like him, but I've had enough beer. It's kind of a grim town. There's just nothing really going on here. You got all these dead-end alleys. All right, I think I'm getting close to Houston. I've never been here before, but, well, I've never come in from the north. But this is a big metro area, and I don't think it's anything else. Still going pretty fast. You can see the skyline down there. The nice Houston skyline there. That's cool. There's the tracks where I just jumped off here. Now I'm getting picked up by Phil, who's one of the YouTube fans, so nice to meet you.
Awesome stuff. Nice to meet you, Jim. Good to see you, man.
Yes. Thank you very much for picking me up.
You're welcome.
So I'm staying in this cool warehouse right behind these trees, and then just right near everything here in the west side of downtown. A pretty nice spot at this warehouse, not far from anything really. Got this nice bed here, got this warehouse with all this room, and you got the living accommodations here. You got these dogs here. Hey bud. So Phil here, you used to do some trains, right?
Yeah, I've done a few trips.
Going west here, and you're a artist slash painter in the area.
Yeah.
Correct? And that's pretty cool. So how'd you find Stobe the Hobo, the show?
Oh, I was just looking on YouTube for train hopping videos. Every once in a while I'll search YouTube for new videos, and I found you and started watching all your videos and liked them a lot.
Sweet. And you're native Texas.
Native, yeah.
And are you part of the Texas Pride thing down here?
Hell yeah! Thank you! Freedom and free!
Phil just painted this entire decorative design on the ceiling of this house. It looks pretty spiffy. That's pretty spiffy.
Thanks, Jim. This is a job that I just recently got. I had to build a platform to even get up here, like 14 feet up. And been here 2 weeks, finishing up here.